Hey guys, welcome to JasonWhiskyWise and myself, Jason, bringing you whiskey review number 47, where today we're going to review the Yamazaki Distillers Reserve, which I picked up myself a dram over there from Drinks by the Dram because I couldn't find the bottle. So hopefully I'll get my hands on a bottle very soon, but minus that, we got the actual dram, so this is going to be review, as you can see, number 47. So that's just to make sure I do the reviews in the right order, because I've got a lot of Japanese whiskies with me right now, and I got to make sure I do the right ones in the right review order. So anyway, let's get down to it. The Yamazaki Distillers Reserve. There's actually two releases of this one. They look the exact same, but they released one in spring 2014, which is this one, and I believe one was in winter 2014. They're both non-age dated whiskies, and let me get my review style structure. So I poured myself a dram, just let it air a little bit. So in terms of age, it is a non-age dated whiskey. Unlike the 12, which has a fixed age statement, this one has a variety of different whiskey used in it. The ABV is bottled at 43% ABV. Let me just pick a bottle, boom, over there. So 43% ABV. And now the cask selection they do use, it does differ from the 12. They use a Bordeaux French red wine cask, they use Spanish sherry cask, and they also use the Japanese oak cask, which is Mizunara oak cask. So you've got three different types of casks. Main difference from the Yamazaki 12 is they're not using the ex-bourbon cask, so they're using a Bordeaux cask instead. The actual distillery is the Yamazaki Distillery, which you'll see over here, and they are owned by the parent company, Suntory. And also, the region it's actually located in is Osaka, Japan. So that's the Yamazaki Distillery. So, price point of view next. This one is actually quite interestingly priced at £55 for the 70cl bottle, which is exact same size as Yamazaki 12, but you're paying half the money, or one-third the money of the price of the Yamazaki 12, which is, in that sense, really good value for money, so you can get your hands on a bottle of some sort of Yamazaki. In terms of exclusivity, it's not exclusive. They are producing this one in quantity, so it will be in the market. But they do have two different releases. You won't be able to tell so easily the differences, but taste-wise, you'll instantly tell the difference. This is the spring 2014 release. So in terms of the actual colouring, they don't specify, again, Yamazaki don't do that on any of the whiskey. So we're going to go in natural colour, but it could be a 50-50, yes, no, maybe. So we actually might leave that as MA. So we don't know. But anyway, let's next move into the assessment of the colour for this whiskey. And now if I show that over there, let me know what you guys think. If you have tried this Yamazaki Distillers Reserve, let me know in the comment section, or even on my blog, WordPress, Twitter, Facebook. I'll leave the links at the end of the video. But yeah, so I'm thinking this is more towards a pale gold. It does have a slight reddy hue, and I think that's from the red wine cask, but I'm going to go with a pale gold to begin on the actual colour. So next, let's move into the assessment for the nose. So into the nose. So to begin things on the nose for this whiskey, it does start with a lot of red fruit, and it does differ quite a lot from the Yamazaki 12. You're talking red currants, cranberries, some more red fruit just hiding themselves and then just exploding with flavour on the nose. And then right behind that, I'm picking out Japanese oak, sort of just giving itself a little bit of spice, but the sweeter notes and a slight floral note as well. I'm also picking out strawberries, but I'd say more towards strawberry jam. It's got that little sweeter approach, but at the same time quite juicy. And then picking out also desiccated coconut, which sort of was quite interesting for me because I did eat a bit of coconut, but I don't think that affected so much the taste of the whiskey or the nose. But anyway, I'm also picking out a slight sweeter, nutty presence on the end, and I'm thinking that's more associated with sugar-coated almonds. And I've been eating a lot of different things recently just to increase my palate flavour profile and nose. So rather interesting on the actual nose, completely different from the 12, which I might do a comparison video, but not sure. Let me know what you guys think. Would you like a comparative video? But very, very nice nose. So anyway, next move into the palate for the whiskey. So into the palate. So into the palate for this whiskey, it does start out with a very light texture. It doesn't actually develop very much. It sort of gives me the summer fruits, sort of that sort of reminds me of, sort of, again, with the raspberries, red currants. It's like a combination of different summer fruits, actually. A little bit of green apple as well. And then you get a slight little bit of soft spice, which develops ever so slightly. A little bit of, I'd say, a peppery note. but it's ever so gentle. And then I get a little bit of dried apricots right behind that. And we'll leave sort of like licorice sort of after finish, but with a bit of nutmeg spice as well. So quite a really interesting palate on this whiskey. So next we'll move into the finish and then we'll come to my conclusion. So into the finish for this whiskey, you're looking at more a medium finish. You're getting the spicy notes and white peppery notes. Very distinctive on the end. And you get a little bit of those red fruits again. There's cranberries, red currants, a little bit of red berries, raspberries. Yeah, raspberries. And then you get a little bit of oaky present, which sort of dries out the middle of the palate. And a little bit on the sides, the spice is still lingering around. And then it just sort of finishes all off, which I feel is a little bit abrupt, premature on the finish. But on that note, I'm actually going to give my rating, and I'm going to go, I was thinking same range, but because I just reviewed the Yamazaki 12, I can honestly give you my sort of rating between the two. So I'm giving it an 86 out of 100. I'm actually giving it less than Yamazaki 12. If you haven't seen that video, it's kind of going to spoil it for you. Don't worry, go watch the Yamazaki 12. But the reason behind that, it doesn't offer so much complexity. You're more or less just getting red fruits throughout the nose to the finish. But it's very, very pleasant, very enjoyable as well. In terms of texture-wise, it's quite light. Very enjoyable as well there. But my main thing is that, you know, in terms of the price point of view, it's £55, which is really good value for money. But for myself personally, 20 or 30 pounds more, I'd rather buy the Yamazaki 12, as I felt it offered that little bit more depth behind it, which this one really didn't have. But in terms of would I buy a bottle of this one? Yes, I would. Because it's something that you can just sit there. It's sort of like, I'd say, a summer whiskey. I can sit there and easily drink it. And I will be picking up a bottle. You will probably see it on my Twitter or Instagram very soon of one of those bottles being picked up around London when I go on my next trip around London. But the reason I gave it 86 is because I can't really give it over the 12. It does have that little bit of youthful spice, which is also a bit mouth-warming, but I feel that sort of pulled it down a little bit more. I'd say it's probably, just under the 12. But personally, for myself, I prefer the 12. It had more complexity. This one's just got a lot more red fruits and spice. So on that note, 86 out of 100. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Be sure to check out the Yamazaki 12, which I'll leave over here, and maybe the 18 when I find a bottle. Or if you guys have a sample, let me know. You can work something out. And also click the subscribe button, which I'll leave over there. So on that note, this has been JasonWhiskyWise, and I'll catch you all for the next video. Also check out all my links on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I'll catch you all for the next video.